The last thing to do is create the checkout success template, which I'll put right alongside checkout.html. In fact, the basis for this template will be identical to checkout.html, so I'm going to copy the whole thing, paste it in, and remove a few things. We won't need the bag tools here. I'll change the main text to "Thank you," and then add a small informative message about their order. Now I'll delete everything in the second row and replace it with an empty column. Then get rid of the postload.js block, as there's no extra JavaScript in this template. I'll paste in a button for the user to now take a look at the latest deals in a new row. And in this empty column is where we'll render the order summary. Before we get to that, in order to test the payment flow, let's make a couple small changes to ensure our signals are working. First, in checkouts init.py, we need to tell Django the name of the default config class for the app, which is checkout.apps.checkoutConfig. You may remember this class from apps.py, where we imported our signals module. Without this line in the init file, Django wouldn't know about our custom ready method, so our signals wouldn't work. If your server's running right now, you'll need to restart it for this to take effect. Also, we're going to make a tiny adjustment to the order model's update total method by adding or0 to the end of this line that aggregates all the line item totals. This will prevent an error if we manually delete all the line items from an order by making sure that this sets the order total to 0 instead of none. Without this, the next line would cause an error because it would try to determine if none is less than or equal to the delivery threshold. Now let's see if the whole checkout flow is working. If you've restarted your workspace since the last video, make sure you remember to export your environment variables for the Stripe keys, and once you've done that, you should be ready to go. I'll head to the products page and add a few items to my bag. Then check out using the test card number from Stripe. If everything's working as expected, when I submit the payment, I should see the form submitted and then be redirected to the checkout success page. On the surface it appears it worked, but let's check Stripe to make sure the payment went through. Which it did. And then let's check the admin to make sure the order was created properly. Here in the admin, I see the order created with all the expected line items, but it looks like the order total didn't get updated, which indicates our signals aren't working correctly. I can confirm this by adding a print statement to the line item's delete signal to confirm that signals aren't working, and then deleting these line items. Actually, now that I'm here, I can already see an issue, and that's that I've got a duplicate function name here, so let me change that to restart the server, and see if the signal works then. Now I can see the message that the signal was received and everything should be working. Just to be sure, I'll try one more order and check again. This time around, I can see the order total is correct, and if I update the number of line items, the total changes correctly. Reducing it to under the delivery threshold also adds the correct delivery costs. And removing the line item entirely sets the order total to 0, indicating that our change to the model method took effect. This is a good point to commit our changes, so I'll go ahead and do that. And in the next video, we'll finalize the checkout success template, add a nice finishing touch to the payment process, and begin adding some redundancy through the implementation of Stripe webhooks.